ShopBob is a platform that really highlights Black-owned businesses, Black and Latinx-owned businesses. It is my heart to really put businesses in the forefront, to discuss how they came to be, the why behind their business, no matter how big and no matter how small. So if you are a business and you want to join me on this live, just hit me up at ShopBob. If you click the icon with the Bob up top, follow us at ShopBob, and I will send you all the details on how you can join the family and how I can support you and help your business grow. I don't ask for anything in return. This is a no fee platform. I really want to know more and about you and your business and help you gain sales. That's my heart to do, and that's my mission, to help you gain sales. So tonight, I also wanted to really speak with an expert that has the ability to scale businesses, have the ability to take your business to the next level. Because within the transition from brick and mortar to online businesses, we have to know the keys in order to succeed. So I am super excited to bring in our next guest. We've got Jeremy Funderburk, and we are going to be discussing how you can scale up your business. Hello.
What is going on?
I am so happy that you can join me tonight, because as much as I wanted to highlight businesses and what they're doing, I also wanted to give them some tools that they can use to grow. And of course, how can they get with Instant Scale Media and to help to do that. So if you could let the audience know who you are and exactly what you do.
Absolutely. And first of all, thank you for having me. And you've had an incredible cast so far today. Oh my goodness. This is Black-owned business excellence to its finest. But all right, everybody, I am Jeremy Funderburk. I am the owner of Instant Scale Media, and we are a full-service digital marketing company that works specifically with e-commerce brands. And it is our mission to put together customized strategies where we're going to grow your revenue overnight and grow your brand over time.
So everybody talks about growth. Everybody wants to know growth. But I want to get to the meat and potatoes with you. I want you to tell me, what is one thing that you notice that businesses are lacking when it comes to their online presence?
That exactly. It's their online presence.
Okay.
Most people think that they can just create a Facebook page or a website, and all of a sudden that means they have a presence. But if people don't know you, they can't flow you. So if people don't even know that you exist, then you really don't even have a presence.
Okay, first of all, you said people who don't know you can't flow you. You know what? Okay, I see where we're going tonight. Okay, so yes, most businesses, I think because when businesses are not budgeting for anything more than just a Facebook page. But so they're only attacking Facebook and they're only attacking Instagram. But what should they really be putting their mindset to when it comes to the flow?
Yeah, so for me personally, I believe that ideally you want to have one area that you focus on more than anything else. Like, you have to know your niche, you have to know your customer base, which I find one of the biggest problems is most people don't know their customer avatar. They don't even know who their ideal customer is. They just assume everybody's their customer. So first you have to get clear on who your customer is, then you have to know where your customer is hanging out, and then you want to get in front of them from there.
See, now you done opened up the can of worms when you said right there. Why do we think that everyone is our customer? Why do we create a product and think that we're going to get this flood as soon as we put it on our Facebook page, that all of the likes are going to come in. Everybody's going to come into our funnel. Everybody's going to sign up and be a part. What is the best? What is one thing that a business can do to really identify who their target customer is?
Great question. There's a number of things that you can do. By the way, if anybody wants like deeper help on this, on Facebook, you can go to Ecom Scaling Strategies, facebook.com/Ecom Scaling Strategies. This is a free Facebook group that I have. And I have tons of resources for you where I break down completely all the steps of creating your avatar, all the steps of creating your funnel. Like, I give you guys all the information absolutely free. So definitely check that out. But you guys have to understand that the richest are in the niches. So I feel like most people are just scared to hone in on a certain niche, thinking, oh, I'm missing out on other opportunities. But really, they're just missing out on everything because they want to be a jack of all trades, master of none, appealing to nobody. But when you appeal to a certain type of person, even your messaging is niched down. So when your ideal customer hears you, all your messaging should speak to them and make them say, huh, they're talking to me right now. Just like your audience knows you're focusing on Black-owned businesses. If you're a Black-owned business, they're like, oh man, that's me. Mm-hmm. You know, other people aren't mistaken. And I think so many people are afraid to do that, mm-hmm. probably because they're used to going to resale establishments where they see businesses that cater to everybody. Mm. But what they fail to see is that these are well-established mega businesses that are backed by big, massive venture capitalists who are running at a point to where they really, like, all their business is debt. Mm-hmm. You know, even like if you look at Walmart, I saw a stat somewhere where it's like if Walmart gave each of their employees an extra $500 mm-hmm. a year raise, it would completely bankrupt Walmart. That's how low these companies are running on profit margins. But when you get dialed into a specific customer, mm-hmm. now you can message them specifically, have an ongoing cycle of business in a profitable way, mm-hmm. instead of being generic, trying to appeal to a huge sea of people who really could care less about you.
Okay, so because you're blowing me away because you already had me when you said there is riches in the niches. Okay, so at what point with businesses should they really dial in, and is it too late if they're already in motion to really take advantage of what you're saying here?
So it's never too late. At any point, you can slow down to speed up, do a restructure. Mm-hmm. I think it's important to start with having things dialed in because it makes it easier to scale. Mm-hmm. That's why we're instant scale media, mm-hmm. because we implement the things that are needed to instantly scale. But if you don't even know who your target customer is, you can't scale profitably, I should say. Mm-hmm. Because just running an ad to the general, like, public, that's going to be a lot more expensive. You say Facebook ads, for example. Mm-hmm. Facebook, show this to everybody in my area. Mm-hmm. Facebook's going like, all right, we can do that, but it's going to cost you a whole lot of money. But then if you run your ads and say, only show it to these people, mm-hmm. Facebook's like, all right, well, that's a smaller group of people. I don't have to charge you as much. Mm-hmm. And now all your messaging speaks to them specifically. Mm-hmm. So now the bulk of those people are actually going to do business with you as well. So you spent less to acquire the attention and you can profit more from it.
See, now I'm looking at the chat right now. Courtney Gift, hi, darling. You've got some really great points in here as well. But see, because there's a lot to uncover here. And for a business, because technically I am also a business myself. So I'm asking these questions for all of us who's watching. This is not just for y'all. We in this together, okay? Okay, so within a business, because now you've introduced ads, paid ads, which a lot of businesses do not even think about. They want the McDonald's advertising exposure, but they don't have the millions of dollars that goes into the commercials and the radio ads and the print ads and things like that. And so even with ad space on, I'm gonna say Facebook because we don't really know any other space within a business who's scared, who doesn't know how to approach it, who doesn't know how to really, all they know how to do is boost. Let's be real. That's all we know how to do, because the button says boost this photo, and we say, okay, because I want to reach, 20% more of my audience. How does a company who doesn't know how to do anything in regards to that work with instant scale media in order to grow? Like, how do they connect to you? Do you have packages, or do you do it case by case where you create this program for them to run an ad?
Yeah, so we take pride in not being a cookie cutter company where I'll say 90% of marketing agencies follow a model what we call cut and paste, where they have one thing that they do for every single client. The only problem with that is every single client's business isn't the same. So we do custom strategies. So anytime someone books a call with us and they get on a sales call, it's actually, I call it a connecting call because it's actually just a connecting call. I'm not going to sell you anything. I'm actually clear with that on the call because I want to learn your business, talk over strategies, see where you're trying to go. And then from that, if you feel like we could be a good fit, then my team actually gets access to your account where we can look at what you're currently doing. And my team will actually do a free audit and put together a whole 3-month plan for you. And then if you want us to run it, because our plan, we can ensure we get results with it, we'll do it. But if you just want to take it and run it for yourself, that's fine too. Because I know my client avatar, and my ideal client is doing $50K a month already in revenue. And if you're at that point, then we'll work on a straight up performance basis, no retainers. We're just going to do a revenue share model, which gives us incentive to produce, because the more money I help you make, the more we get to make. But this Friday, I'm actually dropping a new offer for people under the 50K mark, where I actually call it the $300 on us scale to 50K offer, where we'll work with you, retainer type model, where we'll scale your business to $50,000. It's a 6-month agreement, and we actually take $300 off of the first month, so you can take that $300 and add it to your advertising spend.
Okay, because I was about to say, because when you hit 50K, there's a lot of businesses, especially Black-owned businesses, they're mom and pops, they're small, they're starting, they're not making that kind of revenue. They want that, but they're not making that now. So with that plan that you're offering, I think it's a great offer. But even with the businesses, because I know they're going to have the question, how small do they, before qualifying to even take advantage of that offer?
Ideally, for this new offer, I'll look for someone who's doing at least 10K already a month. Okay. But if they're not there, then the reason I set 10K is because, one, we know things are proven, that you have a product that can sell, and 2, you can probably afford our services. But as of Monday, I just partnered with a third company who, as long as you have at least a 580 credit score, they'll actually provide funding for any of our potential clients.
You're talking my language here. And because, in all honesty, at the end of the day, businesses, they're by themselves. It's a one-man band. They are as we just saw within our last person that our last guest with Dee Marie, she's the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker in her business. And so it's a lot on one person, and then plus they got to do the marketing and they have to do the advertising. And I think a lot of businesses, they get so caught up with having that friends and family round where they just sell in that circle and they don't know how to get to the next level, and their profits haven't grown enough to even think that big. So for those businesses doesn't that needs to get to that next level, and they just want to say, if there was one tip that they could do to their business right now, what's something that they can do where they can be empowered to grow, to then move on and get help from Instant Scale Media?
All right. I'm going to give two, because even though you said you want one, I'm going to give one that I know no one wants to hear, and then I'm going to give one that will make people feel at least a little bit better about themselves.
Okay, lay it on me. Hold on, let me get ready. Go.
So the one that will probably make people feel better about themselves is, there's a ton of ways to grow organically.
Mm-hmm.
And Friday, I'm actually shooting 4 videos that's all about growing organic. So make sure you get in my Facebook group so that way you guys can catch those videos, because I'm going to go over, you can do things like influencers, where you just have a partnership with an influencer.
Mm-hmm.
You can use things like having your own Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a number of things where you can have affiliates or some type of joint venture, JV partners.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a number of ways you can do it organically without spending all that money up front. But it's going to take some hustle, some grit, and some grind, and you're going to have to put in the hours.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only reason you spend money is so you don't have to physically do the work yourself. Money's the multiplier. But if you want the tip that no one wants to hear,
Mm-hmm.
is you got to completely reframe your thought process financially. The way the wealthy think is way different than the I don't want to say the broke people think, but it's a different thought process.
Okay.
You know, one thing I take pride in is I read a lot, I study a lot. I mean, we're 12 days into the year. I've finished 5 books already. This is book number 6. I started it today. I got 2 chapters left. I'll be done with that. Probably book 7 also tonight. And I'm always studying. I'm always learning, what do the wealthy do?
Right.
And I learned that the wealthy aren't scared to leverage debt. You know, I learned early on from my mentor that nobody has a debt problem.
Mm-hmm.
They only have a sales problem. So most people get in consumer debt, and then they get into all this trouble because there's no way to pay it off. But if you use the debt to grow your business and increase sales, then that in turn pays off the debt. And then you have more freed up credit where you can then use that to grow the business even more and create more income. And now all of a sudden you have way more income coming in than you had debt going out.
Mm-hmm.
And it just explodes your business. I speak from experience. I was super duper broke, and I joined a guy's program to learn about business, and I had to go $5,000 in debt. Well, 3 months later, that was all paid off.
Good.
And then I went $30,000 in debt to get taught by somebody else who was making a ton of money.
Wow.
And I did that just because I realized that's the same thing these guys were doing. You know, and now I'm at a point where I talk to guys who literally use debt to grow businesses so big that the only way they can get mentored is by paying people 6 figures per hour. And it's just because they use debt to constantly grow and multiply their businesses to the point where they can spend $50,000 in debt knowing they're going to make the money back. So for us and our clients, I would say we typically receive returns on ad spend somewhere between 4 to 10x. So I have clients that can literally, they can take out $6,000 in debt using their advertising. We can take that $6,000, they make $60,000. So debt was never a problem. Sales is always the problem.
Yes.
So unpopular tip, use debt to grow your business, but use it with somebody like us who actually has experience in growing the business. That way you don't just waste the money and then all of a sudden you got a debt problem.
Interesting. Okay. I already know there's a lot of who's going to watch it, especially for the replay watchers. Shout out to y'all. They're gonna hear that word because that is a scary word. Yes, Dean Marie, for the Facebook page, can you give me that Facebook page again, and I'll post it.
Yep, it's Ecom Scaling Strategies.
Ecom. Oh.
Yeah, so it's ECOMM Scaling Strategies.
I can't. We gonna get this.
And I can drop it in here too.
Yes, that would
Drop it
be
in the
amazing.
comment.
Yes, do that because I'm over here I'm a one-man band over here. I'm telling you, that would be great. Yes, drop that so people can find it on Facebook, because I know with a lot of businesses, they're gonna hear that word debt and it is going to terrify them. That word, it's something mentally that hits us in our head where, one, we haven't been properly taught how to use debt. We are scared that once we're in debt, that we don't have a plan to get out of debt. And I think a lot of businesses are going to have resistance within that. I also understand that when it comes to business, what we have learned in an outside world is completely flipped around when it comes to business. And so I understand the whole idea and the concept of using this to make 10 times more. And I did get a chance to research your website as well. Everyone who is watching, make sure you follow Instant _scale media, and follow this gentleman right here, the owner, Jeremy. And I saw some case studies that you've had with tremendous growth. Can you talk about one of those case studies, and when they first came to you and using your system, your program, your platform, your team, and now growing to where they're at now?
Yeah, one thing I'll say is shout out, because I just saw it pop up. Somebody just asked to join the group, so very, very well done for you. And anybody on here, drop a comment. Find me on Facebook, Instagram. I'll make sure I get you guys, just for being on here watching tonight. I'll give you guys a full checklist of things you can look for when starting running Facebook ads. So you can take all the guesswork out. I'm just going to get that free for everybody watching on here. Just make sure you remind me that I said that.
They're going to hold you to it.
Y'all better hold me to it. Y'all want to grow. But all right, I've lost the question now. What was it?
I wanted to talk about how you've taken a business through your program, through your company, through your team, and was able to get that return on investment, because you have some case studies even on your website that is just awesome. And I know businesses, it's hard in the beginning to see that goal happening. It's hard to say, okay, this is where I'm at today, but if I do this hard work that you're saying, if I put in the time, if I put in the effort to get my business where it needs to be, it's nothing to be like that can happen tomorrow. So if you could go through one of those case studies where a business has come to you and you've been able to help them and serve their needs, as you just mentioned.
Oh man, yeah. So we got so many of them. And then it's not even just me, it's my team. I guess one of my biggest strengths has always been attracting talent. So some of my main marketers now are actually people who used to work corporate, actually still do on the side part-time. They're upper management for Shopify.
Okay.
So
they know they.
So our team's really good. But goodness, so just overall, I mean, we have case studies where we've helped people go from very startup, which they had funding, so but we're able to help them grow, scale fast. We've had people that we've taken to 900,000 in sales. We have people that we've taken to We have so many ridiculous case studies. We have one. Uh, y'all hit me up. I'll actually send y'all one of my videos where I actually go over a number of them and break them down with screenshots so you can see the results, the revenue, the advertising spend. But we've had so many. My favorites are always like the smaller ones. I like people who go from right now I have a huge, huge passion to take somebody from 10K or less
Mm-hmm.
to 20K to 50K a month to 100K a month to 20K a day. And that's my goal, is to get someone to that point.
Right.
But oh man, I don't even know if I could. I don't even know if I have one that I could just say, all right, well, one, I don't have any of the like really details.
No, and
Like
I
these are
understand,
the
of course,
exact
it's
numbers.
client privileges, to not go into all the details, but I think you said enough even right there, because that's what I really wanted to tap into for the small businesses, that you have seen results from someone who was just starting out, didn't know how to get there, but was able to get the help needed to get them where they need to be to get that kind of return on investment. Because a lot of times, I also come from a sales background, and the one
Hmm.
thing that I've always had the head bump with, which is another reason why I had to start Shop Bob, is that they don't plan the budget for ads. They don't plan. They come up with the idea, and just like you said, they don't understand who their audience is. They don't really get to the specificity of the solution that their product is solving, and then
Hmm.
marketing to them and really capturing them as an audience, a return client, because the best, especially in our community, we love someone who tells you, guess what I just got? Girl, I just got this cocoa shea butter. It is amazing. Buy it. And then that's how we really spread the word, because now it's a trusted item. So
Hmm.
I agree with you on that. So within a business, though, because you're saying that you're giving the opportunity, if they have a credit score of at least 580, that you have a
Hmm.
partner that can fund them to allow them to create the package that they need to receive to get more exposure.
Hmm.
I like that. I like that. So within ads, though, because you said that you work with clients case by case, is there something even in that conversation you find to be the norm? Is it lack of branding, lack of design, lack of value proposition, that they could start thinking about now to help, even to have that meeting with you to take it to the next level?
Yeah, and good question. It's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
factors. I think the biggest hiccup everybody has is in here. It's in their mind because they want everything done a specific way that doesn't work. And if they can't get out their own way, then it's really hard. People have a hard time of realizing, hey, if you think how you always thought, you'll get what you've always got. You can't keep thinking that the ineffective things you're doing now
Right.
are going to help you get to the next level. So you have to be open to change. And when people aren't open to change, that messes them up. And if they're not willing to be patient, we'll scale you fast, but if you don't have everything in order, it might take a month of testing. It might take 2 months of
Mm-hmm.
testing. But then the budget, you're absolutely right, because most people just don't have the budget. And even if you go to business school, which I didn't go to business school, only if people are trying to start a business and think about going to business schools, I actually don't even encourage it, because they're going to say take this small percentage and allocate that to your marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the dumbest thing ever, because they're going to teach you that marketing is an expense,
Mm-hmm.
but as long as it's profitable,
Mm-hmm.
it'll never be an expense. If you can put $1 in and get $2 back, how much money would you put into it? An infinite amount, because you're always doubling the money.
Mm-hmm.
But in marketing school, they're going to say only put 5% or whatever the crazy number they give
Right.
you. And then if you go to marketing school, they teach you a funnel where it's awareness at the top and profitability at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So they say build your awareness. The more awareness you have,
Right.
the more profitable you'll be at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I say flip that.
Mm-hmm.
Put profitability at the top and awareness at the bottom. This is why we scale your revenue overnight and your brand over time. Because every company that has awareness isn't necessarily profitable. But every company that's profitable has awareness.
Now, really quick, because I just want to break the mold of businesses when they think they put the ad out, and now tomorrow I'm supposed to get the floodgates of heaven pour out a blessing. Now, let's talk about the timing, like true expectation of growth. When someone starts up a program, starts to put out advertisement, like what is the time frame that you give them to start expecting a gain? Because I've been there. People put $1 down and they want items sold immediately, and they're constantly asking you, well, when is the money coming? When is the money coming? How much time would you tell a client before you really, this is the amount of time it's going to take to grow?
Yes, it will be different depending on your business and if you have funnels set up and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But and then also depending on if you know your avatar, your ideal customer.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know your ideal customer stuff is,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have funnels already set up that are proven,
Mm-hmm.
it might take you 6 weeks before you really start to see it. Depending on your niche, it might even take you 3 months before you start to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, once everything's locked in, now the floodgates have just opened.
Okay.
But if you have everything in place, you can go like that.
Now,
I've had clients that 2.5 weeks in, they start getting monster results.
mm-hmm. So within Instant Scale Media, and you do this whole breakdown of the client need, do you also offer those assets when it comes to funnels and when it comes to, tightening up their audience niche and stuff? Or
We do have the part of our servicing is that we will build that stuff out.
okay.
But if you just wanted your current stuff audited
Mm-hmm.
and analyzed,
Mm-hmm.
the answer is no and yes. Currently, we don't have that fully in place,
Okay.
but tomorrow I'm finalizing that offer with somebody.
Of course.
We have a meeting tomorrow at like 1 o'clock or something like that, or 3 o'clock tomorrow Eastern. And then after that, we'll have all that finalized, and then yes, we will be
I
able to do
love
that for you
it.
as
You're
well.
already thinking ahead and thinking of full service for your clients. Because I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of small businesses, they never took the time to do that. Even if entrepreneurship was in their family, when it comes to our community, we really didn't learn the business behind the business. All we knew was to create a product and then sell it. But we didn't know how to spread the word. We didn't know how to get outside of our community to build the awareness, as you said. And then even at that, for our mindset, when we have a profit, we don't want to spend our profit to throw it back into the business, because we don't understand that dollar to the two. We don't. And that's why I'm so glad that I have you with me today, because I really wanted to break that mindset when it comes to business, that if you really want to scale and grow, and be real, because I felt like you was really putting the mirror up to me, because I was always the person, I knew what I was doing, and when you give me something new, I'm going to give you resistance. So I know what you're talking about. But I think it's really important that for businesses to truly grow, that we have to do something that we haven't done before. So Instant Scale Media,